Shooting in 360 was a super exciting challenge, and the bigger the challenge, the more I can sink my teeth into it. Shooting at racetracks and race cars and sports cars, that's kind of my specialty, is high performance action filmmaking. What I wanted to do with this Samsung 360 round camera was to put it in a race car and give the viewer the experience of going around a racetrack like a virtual ride-along with the race car driver at Laguna Seca Raceway. I talked to the driver about doing a couple test laps. When I saw him come around turn 11 for the first lap and he was sideways in the gravel, dust spraying up, that was not 50% speed, that was nearly full speed, and the camera and the rig, everything was solid, so that was about the most exciting moment of the shoot for me. What I look for in everything that I'm shooting in a racing environment is really solid equipment. It's a really, really challenging environment, and you're dealing with a lot of dust, you're dealing with high temperatures, you're dealing with high G-forces. Everything's being stressed, and your equipment, everything you're dealing with has to be really top-notch. One of the first questions I asked when we were talking about shooting this project was, what is the tripod socket like? And when I got it in my hands, it was bulletproof. I knew we were good to go, because that's really the starting point when I am thinking about shooting in a racing environment. Because what I love to do is point of view shots, where you can put the camera in unusual places. We ended up putting 3 cameras on the race car, one on the rear wing, one on the nose, and one inside the car, another camera in another race car, and we had another camera out in the corner, and everything worked seamlessly. Shooting inside the cockpit of the race cars, that's a notoriously hot environment. I have had cameras shut down, just stop recording due to heat. I've had cameras shut down due to vibration. I've had cameras ruined by dust and environmental problems that we're facing out on location. And this camera did perfect. And I specialize in shooting on location. And the weather can be your friend, it also can be your enemy. But with this camera being IP65 rated, we were actually hoping for rain. I can't wait to get a chance to shoot that camera in a total downpour. When I tested the camera, I put it on the roof of my SUV during sunset in order to test its low light capabilities. I had no preview, so I had no idea how the exposure was going to come out, but it looked great and the camera performed really well considering it was almost dark. But when we're on location, I need to be able to see the frame that I'm going to shoot. So our plan was to have a laptop there and we plug in with an Ethernet cable. That's fine, we could preview the shot that way. But when they showed up with the cameras, they have a new way of connecting the camera to an app on a device. Brilliant. We're able to download all the footage there using the stitching computer, so the workflow was really quite easy. With 17 cameras all needing to be stitched together to make one seamless image, that is quite a process. The viewing software was simple to use. You export the footage and then you bring it into whatever editing software you're using. One of the 360 round strengths is in live streaming. So you can live stream a camera that's got 17 lenses being stitched and pushing that out for people to view content in real time. I think that's mind-blowing. The question of what are the considerations for filming in 360 3D virtual reality are so vast. To convey my concept to a writer so he could write a script, everything I described came back at me in a conventional rectangle 16:9 interpretation. but that wasn't it. It's total immersion in that environment. Trying to get my head wrapped around that idea was probably the biggest challenge, was just that there's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to hide. Everything is visible. This is just another tool in our kit that expands the possibilities of what I can do. I feel like I just started a sort of a new chapter in my career. I'm actually really excited about getting another opportunity to get this camera in my hands and make another film with it.